Are you tired?
Actually, no. I just have to shower and fold some laundry, and then I'm going to bed.
You smell fine from here. I don't think you need to shower.
I probably should.
All right. Welcome to the Practical Pistol Show. My name's Ben. Here to answer your shooting questions. On with me today is Mr. Matt, Angry Matt. Say hello, Matt.
Hi, everybody.
It's just us today. We're trying to get Keith liquored up. He's in the bullpen now, but I don't think he'll be ready in time. No?
I don't know what this. I mean,
It's just you and me, so you're going to have to talk a lot. Like more
okay.
than your usual.
All right.
At least like 3 times as much.
3 times as much. I'll do that.
All right. So, since it's just the two of us, we've got one long letter that a guy wrote that I thought was kind of interesting. Usually, I don't read these things, but not on the air anyway. I read them if people send them to me. But this guy's worth reading on the air because I think it's interesting. And then we've got a couple of questions. So, let's do this, huh?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I recently shot a pro-am match at my local range. We had guys come from all over to shoot. It was a generous par time of 45 seconds. You had to know how to aim. If you knew how to aim, you'd easily hit all the plates within the time limit. I got second place in TAC Ops, whatever the fuck that is. The problem is,
I don't understand.
the problem is, the out-of-town GM competing beat me by 30 seconds, which is humiliating in a 5-stage match. It does sound humiliating.
6 seconds of stage.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
He could have thrown his mag to one of the other bays on a stage, retrieved it, finished the stage, and still beat me. I have the delusion of grandeur because I am the best among the group I compete against regularly. I'm A class, so that tells you the talent level of the shooters I shoot against. The truth is, I deserve to lose by 30 seconds. I shoot once every 2 weeks and intend to match every other month. This is not going to make me better. What the fuck? I lost my place. This is not going to make me better, and I can't expect any better results from this kind of effort. If I keep this up, I will progress very slowly, if at all. It is not that I don't want to practice more, but with work, family, and kids, this is all I have time to live fire. The thing I do have time for is dry fire, which I've not been doing. I let your dry fire books sit at home and collect dust. I'm going to wipe the dust off and start practicing every day. I started a dry fire the other day after the match. I have been dry firing so much that my hands are sore. I'm starting to develop calluses after just a week of dry fire. This is the answer for me becoming a better shooter. I tried the dot drill for the first time today. I ran it 9 times. The first time I went way too fast and missed over half the shots on the circles. Holy shit, half of them? All right.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of misses. By the last run.
Maybe he was running 2-second runs. You
never know. By the last run, I hit all but 4 shots. I'm going to dry fire this drill and try to get a clean run by the end of the month. I will dry fire this drill every night. It's strange that I'm even writing you this email. You shouldn't care about my performance, and I don't expect you to. The reason I'm sending this to you is because you are my mentor. I don't know you, and you don't know me. Your podcasts and books provide me with enough information to become a great shooter. I'm going to start taking my practice seriously and actually utilize the info you provide. Please keep the great training material coming. Thanks for all that you do.
So is this just like a humble brag for you to have a 2-minute post? This guy saying you're awesome? Or?
No, I don't read these. I get these pretty frequently, but I don't read them on the air. This guy's interesting because if you're this A-class dude, don't wait for the major match to come to you. Go to the major match, and then you'll get motivated right away. Well, this guy's been kicking everybody's ass all the time.
Yeah.
So if you're the A-class guy laying the beat down at your club, and there's a lot of these guys out there, just go to your section match, get the beat down laid on you, and you'll get motivated. That's a good thing.
Do you know the guy? Is he away from?
I don't know this motherfucker at all.
It makes sense if he has time to dry fire, do that a lot, and then if you can only live fire once a month, right?
Well, the point of it wasn't that. It was that here's the stuff I do, but I know I could be doing more.
Why isn't
right?
He?
Well, I think about yourself. Like everybody's like, this is the level I do. This is the level of commitment I have. I know I could do more of whatever, and now I'm motivated, so now I'm going to do it. So I like that. I like when people get motivated, whatever it is.
Can you? So I've had problems doing the dot drill and dry fire because there's no recoil and the gun is staying exactly where you're at.
Yeah.
To translate over, do you just do it in a faster time or?
Yeah, so to simulate that, you would do a faster time, then I focus on gripping the absolute shit out of the gun. And then
In dry,
yeah, and I do the trigger control. I like that trigger control drill, the separate one where you react to a beep and press the trigger really fast. Because that's usually the two problems, right? Is there's holding the gun really hard and
yes.
then pressing the trigger straight. The one thing you can't really practice a whole lot, you can practice it in dry fire, but it's hard. But you're like waiting for the gun to come back down in recoil. So
Yeah.
what you do in dry fire is if you're shooting the same target with multiple shots, you consciously check the sight alignment between every dry fire shot.
To
So you
confirm it's there,
yeah, so
or
you
to
know that
build in
it's
that delay.
yeah, so you know that you're not building in a delay.
Okay.
That's not the point. You will be slower. There will be a delay, but the delay is spent checking the sight alignment. So it's
So
like
like
you
after you pull the trigger, you look at the target, then look at your front sight to
no.
confirm it's
Just
on.
look to your sight and be like, is that where it's supposed to be? And it always moves. Like it's gonna move a little bit,
Yeah.
and then you see the position. Like, is it still where it's supposed to be? Yep. And then you press. And
So
by
you wouldn't add the transition to the target to make sure you're still on it,
no,
because that's what you're doing in live fire.
not really. I mean,
You're doing it so fast, so I think you all actually are.
I don't usually know. I'm just checking. I just look at the sights and I'll see the target in the background.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
more about consciously checking the sight alignment, because if you consciously check the sight alignment in live fire, when the sight comes back down out of recoil, you'll see if it's lined up on the dot or not. You know what I mean? Instead of where he says I went too fast and I missed a bunch. Well, if you're actually checking the sight alignment, you won't do that.
You could be yanking it off the target though.
Could be, but that's the other thing. That's working on gripping really hard or
Right.
pressing the trigger straight.
It's good.
Yes, yes. All right, let's get on to the questions. Hey, Ben. Just thought I would try to get your take on shooting for old dudes. I am a very fit 64-year-old guy that is looking for a fun challenge. I gave up golf after 40 plus years of GM level participation because I became bored with the same old bullshit. By the way, Nick is absolutely right on the correlation with golf on a whole bunch of levels. USPSA is very much like the professional golf scene decades ago. I don't know if that's good or bad.
That means we only have decades to go before we can make
Before
money.
we're fucked. So when I'm 64, then
Yeah.
guys will be getting rich doing this. It'd be awesome. Is there a vibrant production senior or super senior scene out there at the moment? If so, is there any chance that a newbie could have a chance of competing with the grizzled veterans given the time and money? I personally love to practice both live and dry fire and have the wherewithal to fund the endeavor. I would hate to go at this balls to the wall and find out that the only competition are guys wearing bibs with oatmeal stains on them. Holy shit. He's going full bore. I like it. I went to a local match in the Phoenix area, but it was hard to determine what class the participants were in or how well they were doing. Just wondering what you think. I really enjoy the podcast and the irreverence of your crew. If you can't call your friends assholes, then they aren't really friends. I don't care whether this question goes on the podcast or not. Up to you. All right. So, vibrant senior and super senior scene. Let's start with that. Is this a worthwhile pursuit?
I don't know how to like answer this without making some people mad I shoot locally with. But like the scene is the dude that turned the into that division the least amount of time ago is usually the winner.
Wait,
Right?
say that again?
The guy that just got into the division
Into
that
senior?
into the
Okay.
category is usually the winner.
So the youngest senior.
Yeah, basically, or super senior.
I think it's like a lot of other little cliques where there's a group of dudes who know each other in any region. So you know how like all the revolver shooters know each other?
Yeah, true, true.
Yeah, and you're like they kind of have their own little competition going on, and the senior guys and something like they know each other, and maybe the A class guys know each other around a region. I think there's that. I think there'll be plenty of people to shoot against. I
Yeah.
don't think. I mean, yeah, there's some window lickers in anything, but I think that he will find himself in good company. I mean, I'm thinking of there in I go to Tucson sometimes, and there's plenty of retirement age dudes there who go and practice all the fucking time, like
Yeah,
who are serious. So I think there'll be other guys like that to shoot against, especially in Arizona. That's where
well,
those cotton tops migrate there.
because it's warm out.
I guess.
No, the other thing is do use the class system. It's really good and really representative of like your current skill level up to a certain point, right? So if you're
Sure.
competitive in B class, why not try to beat all the Bs?
I don't
I
know.
mean, that's what I would go for rather than the
Well, he's
senior
kind of
category
he's
or
kind of a
super senior
twofer.
category. He could do both, sure.
Yes.
But if he finds one is easy or not like rewarding to him, try the other one.
Yeah. I think he's fine either way, and there'll be plenty of people to shoot against that are of like mind to him, and he might even meet dudes that he wants to practice with,
That's
because
very true.
there's plenty of dudes of that age that did some other sport that don't do that sport anymore, but they like to practice and they do this now. I
That's
think he'll
true.
have fun. That'd be my guess, especially in that region.
I've never been there, so I don't know.
Lots of old motherfuckers there.
All right.
Lots of them, and like Canadians too. During the winter, there's a lot of Canadians there. It's weird.
Really?
Yeah, snowbirds.
Yeah.
Guys who live like where I live, then they go to Arizona.
Makes sense.
I
The
guess.
area is horrible. You got snow on the ground?
Do I?
Yeah.
That's not even a question this time of year. Yes.
I know.
Yeah. The reason I think you'd go to Arizona during the winter if you haven't heard of Texas. I imagine that's how you do it.
It depends, I guess, wherever you like more. I'd go to Texas.
Well, obviously, Texas is the obvious choice. Could hang out with Tim. His wife will keep him on lockdown, but we could hang out sometimes.
During work,
What?
during work hours, right?
Yeah, during work hours, I'm allowed to hang out with him.
At work.
Otherwise,
At
hell
work.
no. All right. Let's move on to the next question. So,
Yeah.
I've been listening to your podcast for a few weeks, and I'm getting a lot of good info and entertainment from it. Holy shit. I've also been using your dryfire book, and even though I used to sort of roll my eyes at the whole dryfire concept, I've been improving quite consistently over the last few months. Yeah, no shit. Of course it works. What do you think about that, Hopkins? So thumbs up to you, Ben. That being said, I'm still fairly new to the whole competition shooting world. I'm not a total noob to firearms, though. I'm a U.S. Navy veteran. Do they have guns for the Navy?
Yeah, the big ones. They shoot ships with them.
That's fucking cool. And I work for the gun and ammo industry. I started with 3 guns specifically because I was looking for a place to play with my M1A, and I found long range precision shooting to be extremely fucking boring. I've switched things up several times with my guns and gear. For heavy metal, I shoot my M1A, Mossberg family. Oh, we're going to skip all this shit. All this 3-gun shit. Okay, so now getting started in USPSA with the Glock 34. Fascinating backstory, right? No, not really. I'm sure you don't really give a shit. I'll be honest, I thought the Navy thing was cool. The shooting ships, that's cool. But there it is. Here's my question. What sort of benchmarks should I be looking for or shooting towards? As far as drills, holster, draw, transitions, etc. I know what my goals are for becoming a GM someday, but I'm sort of looking for benchmark goals to use now to keep me on track as I progress year by year. In April, it will be my first year anniversary of shooting sports. Everyone tells me lovely crap like it's you against yourself, and as long as you're improving, that's all that matters. That's all well and good. Just because I'm a lady shooter doesn't mean I need to be coddled and flattered 24/7. I'd like some real deal breakdowns, and I'm pretty sure you're the type of guy that won't be pulling any punches. Yeah, being a lady shooter, I think that makes
Why
it
does that
tough.
even matter on this?
That makes it pretty much impossible to get honest feedback.
You think?
Yes.
So,
I mean, if you ask me, I don't give a shit, but most guys are.
but reading this question wouldn't have changed anything.
It wouldn't have changed my answer, no. But this person's more. That's more an explanation for why they're asking the question.
Okay.
Don't you think?
Don't you have different parts like set in your books?
For girls?
No, for anybody.
No, I just got rid of that.
You did? I thought they
Yeah.
were in there.
Well, they were, and then I got to get rid of that. So
Why?
well, the first Dryfire book had a tiered system where it was sort of
Yeah.
arbitrary, right? But it's tiered. There's like three par goals for everything,
Hmm.
and then there was the one of them that was the actual goal. Like if you're
Right.
actually doing it properly, then this is what it should be. And what happened was people would do the beginner time and be like, well, that's okay for now. I'm the beginner. Then they'd maybe get to the intermediate time and then they'd stop pushing, right? So that pissed me off. So I just got rid of the tiers and like this is the time, period.
Okay. So should she use a percentage of that then? Say 80% of that time or whatever?
No, I think we'll give some specifics. I mean, I could give some specifics if you'd like.
Yeah, go
Um,
ahead. Well, she asked for what? Draw transitions.
yeah.
That's only two specific ones.
Mm-hmm.
She's got to
Draw.
draw second.
Draw transitions. What else? Let me make sure I read. I don't
Exception.
want to miss anything. Hmm. Draw
That's only
transitions. All right. Let's get reloads in there. So I don't know how intensive a year this has been, uh, but I can give some goals. So to start with, I think you want to be able to draw and start shooting in competition in like a second and a half to start. Does that
okay.
sound fair, Hopkins?
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. Target transitions, I wouldn't really have a specific goal there. I wouldn't worry about the time to start with. I just more focus on being able, like, are you hitting everything? Okay. So transition onto a target. If you get to the point where you aim hard at the long stuff and don't miss it, and then you shoot target focused and shoot quickly on the close stuff, I'd be happy with that. As far as reloading, like reloading in about a second and a half or 2 seconds, that's fine. And more like being comfortable doing it, like not fucking them up as you move around a stage and probably doing multiple reloads, that'd
I'd
be
say two
fine.
seconds is probably a good bar. Not 1.5. So that's getting that.
It depends. Yeah, that's getting on it, sure. As far as accuracy, I'd like to see you hit an A zone every time with no time limit at like 20 yards. That's okay
To start, but then
to
she should be
start.
able to hit anything no matter what at some point.
Right. Yeah, hitting the A zone every time with no time limit. 20 yards is good. And as you're shooting through matches, like there's no shot you can't make. Like you can hit every piece of steel, stuff like that. As you start to improve, so here's a good intermediate set of goals. 2 second bill drill. So draw 6 shots, 7 yards, 2 seconds. 1 second for the first shot break. At that distance, at like 7 yards, you can draw and break a shot in a second. I'm not talking about whipping the gun out and pumping one into the dirt or maybe the target or maybe getting lucky, nothing like that. Like drawing, looking through the gun, knowing that you're on target and pulling the trigger and your first shot's in a second. Thereabout. On the practice range, I think that's fair. Uh, what would you add to that, Hopkins? Because the manipulations are big, especially for lower level people.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's where you'll see the biggest amount of time.
Yes.
If you go into three gun, I know I don't have experience, but I know people always say that transitions between the guns is the biggest time saver there. So even with knowing nothing about it, I would focus on that if that's what she's going to do. Like
I don't
just get
know.
rid of a gun and then getting another gun up and going.
Yeah, she's correctly identified that precision rifle is boring as fuck.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No, and it's the precision sports. That's a whole different type of mentality. Like whatever it's in you that makes you good at that stuff. I don't have that.
Yeah, I agree.
Thanks, Dick.
What do you want me to say?
No, I like
I,
that.
I,
Oh, you want to say something, don't you?
I just don't see why her adding that being a lady shooter adds anything to this discussion at all. Like, up to that point, it was like
Look,
good question, good question. She added that, and then
all right,
like felt
that's an explanation for why. Do you see how ladies get treated at shooting ranges?
I I see. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so you get on a squad at a club match, and you see some dude shoot a stage, and it's like yeah, whatever, like not noteworthy on any level. Shoots the stage, nobody says shit, or maybe his friend is like, yeah, good run or whatever.
All right, yeah.
All right, a girl shoots it, same run, same level of performance, maybe a little worse, and people stand in line to glad hand her about how great it was.
Okay.
Some ladies like that.
Do you think that prevents them from doing a certain level?
I don't think that prevents shit. It's just that some ladies like that, and some ladies figure out really quickly that that's just how ladies get treated on shooting ranges. Generally speaking, the bar is set a lot lower.
Yeah, it makes sense, I guess.
Where it's like if you like you, you'd see guys congratulate women for shooting some stage some way, and then if they themselves had shot that score, they would be in the bushes like slitting their wrists.
Yeah, I see that. That makes sense.
Right. So like this woman is. It's kind of like. So then she would. I'm envisioning her asking the guys in the group like, "Hey, how do I get better? What do I need to do?" And they're all like, "No, you're doing so good. You're shooting so good." And she's like, "No, no, seriously, fuck off. Like, how do I get better? What am I supposed to be doing?"
Right. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
You just have to pay. You have to pay very close attention to how women get treated.
I guess I hadn't really thought about it, so
Well, of course. Why would you? You're not a woman.
I guess, yeah.
It doesn't make any difference to you. Like Kita hates that shit. Hates it. He gets
Okay.
really annoyed by how women get treated. I don't know why. I personally kind of like it
If she gets mad or that they get treated like that.
that she gets mad.
Yeah, that's good.
I like that she gets mad. I don't know. We don't have enough women in the sport to really move the needle in terms, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
That's just me being sexist, I guess. Hey, you know what? Bang up questions, Hopkins. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
See, we don't need a third person.
we're sort of decent.
Heron can fuck off, man. Hey, you know what a friend of mine did? Because
But
Tim was bitching about getting one of the new Pro Shop shirts.
yeah.
he, he sent me a message saying, "Do you have any kid sizes?" And I was like, "I don't know." So he ordered like a kid size shirt and shipped it to Tim Aaron, and
Oh shit.
hasn't
I
said
think
shit
he's
about
got
it
it,
to
hasn't
any.
he?
What?
I think Tim got it.
No,
He didn't?
no, no. I don't think it's
Uh
been shipped yet.
oh, okay. Will he find out by like when this podcast goes up?
He might have it by then.
Okay.
I don't know, but
Tell Tim Myers to get on the fucking ball then.
I
Over and
thought
get
it
that
was
shit.
hysterically funny. I don't know why.
Oh no, he asked for a shirt.
Yeah, he kept saying he wants
Yeah,
that
yeah,
shirt,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then Tim's like, "No, you got to be cool to get that shirt."
yeah. Okay.
That's great. Well, anyway, listener people, if you have shooting questions you want the answer to, go to bensteger.com, send me an email. We'll talk about your question. Even if you're a lady and Hopkins says that that doesn't matter,
It
listen,
doesn't.
Hopkins. Hillary lost. The glass ceiling is still intact. You know, that's what you need to know is women still aren't there yet.
Okay.
So you got to help them out and be more sensitive.
Even in the shooting sports.
I don't know. Who gives a shit? I mean, seriously. Right?
I don't think it matters what gender you are.
There's a lot of people seem to think it matters a whole lot.
Well, they fucking lost. Electoral college for the win.
I don't think that's what they were voting on in that election, but
Okay.
uh, I don't know. You have a good time shooting with Maria
She's
in Hungary?
hilarious. Yeah,
No,
she's
but I
hilarious.
mean like a little girl like bitch slapping all the guys at shooting. You're just like, God damn. Like,
She smoked me.
yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Fuck. Another Another few years she'll be smoking everybody.
You think it'll take that long?
I hope it does. Just gotta leave me some room for a while. Whatever.
Yeah.